Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Hello everyone, my name is Putri Nabila Zaira with NIM 63250-340 from the second semester of the Accounting Information System Study Program. Today we are going to cover two important topics, computers and then inside the computer. By the of this session, you will understand what a computer is, how it works, the different types that exist, and what component live inside a modern computer. Let's get started with our first topic. So, what exactly is a computer? A computer is an electronic device that accepts data as input, processes that data, stores it, and produce a result called output. And all of this is done based on a set of instruction called a program of software. Think of it this way, a computer is like a very powerful calculator with a memory. You give it raw data, it figures out what to do with it, and it gives you useful results. No, computers have not always looked the way they do today. Let's take a quick look at history. In the 1940 years, the first electronic computer, called ENIAC, was built. It was the size of a room. By the 1970 years, personal computers were introduced, making computing accessible to ordinary people. The 1990 years brought the internet and multimedia era. Suddenly, computers could connect to each other globally. From the 2000 years onwards, we entered the age of mobile and cloud computing, from smartphone to storing your files online. Computers come in many different forms depending on their purpose and size. Let's look at the main types. 1. Supercomputer. These are the most powerful computers in the world. They are used for extremely complex tasks like weather forecasting, nuclear simulations, and scientific research. An example is the Fugaku supercomputer in Japan. 2. Desktop PC. This is the classic computer many of you have at home or in the office. It sits on or under a desk and is designed for stationary use. 3. Laptops or notebooks. A portable version of the desktop. It runs on battery power and you can use it anywhere. 4. Servers. These are computers designed to provide service to other computers over a network. They run 24 hours per week and are always on, hosting websites, emails, and apps. 5. Tablets and smartphones. These are mobile computing devices with touchscreen. They are the most common computers in everyday life today. 6. Embedded computers. These are computers built inside other devices, like the computer inside your microwave, your car's engine control system, or a smart TV. You don't see them, but they are everywhere. Now, let's understand how a computer actually works. The process is described by what we call the IPU cycle, input, process, output. And sometimes storage is added as a fourth step. 1. Input. This is data that goes into the computer. Example include typing on a keyboard, clicking a mouse, speaking into a microphone, scanning a document, or taking a photo with a camera. 2. Process. This is where the CPU, which we'll learn about in topic 2, takes the input data and performs calculation or makes decision based on the program's instruction. 3. Output. This is the result that the computer produces for you. It could be text on your monitor, sound from speakers, a document from a printer, or an image on a projector. And last, storage. Data can also be saved for later use. Temporary storage is RAM while the computer is on, and permanent storage is the hard drive or SSD. Example to remember, you type 5 plus 3, the keyboard, that's input. The CPU calculates it, that's process. 8 appears on your screen, that's output. Computers are no longer just tools for scientists or programmers. They are everywhere in our daily life. Let's look at 4 major areas where computers are used. Education. Computers power online learning platforms like Google Classroom or Moodle. Students access digital libraries, read a book, and use research tools. Even this lecture you are watching right now is possible because of computer. Healthcare. Hospitals use computer systems to store, maintain records. Medical imaging machines like MRI and CT scanners use powerful computers to create image of the inside of your body. Computers are also used to model new drugs and speed up medical research. Business. Companies use computers for everything: accounting, managing payroll, running e-commerce stores, and analyzing large sets of data to make business decisions. Communication. Email, video call on Zoom or Teams, social media, WhatsApp, and all of these run on computers and computer networks. The key takeaway here is computers are not optional in the modern world. Understanding how they work is a fundamental skill for any career you choose. Great! We've covered what a computer is and how it's used in the world. Now, let's open it up literally. In the second topic, we are going to look at the hardware component that exists inside a computer and understand how they work together to make everything function. The main components we'll cover are the CPU, RAM, ROM, storage device, the motherboard, GPU, PSU, and input or output device. The first and most important component inside a computer is the CPU, or Central Processing Unit. This is often called the brain of the computer, and for good reason. What does it do? Every single instruction in a program, every calculation, every comparison, every logical decision passed through the CPU. When you click a button in an app, it's the CPU that figures out what should happen next. Key parts of a CPU: the ALU, or Arithmetic Logic Unit, handles all math and logical operation. The control unit directs data traffic. It tells other components what to do and when. Flash memory is extremely fast memory built right into the CPU to store frequently used data. Clock speed is measured in gigahertz. 1 gigahertz means the CPU can perform 1 billion cycles per second. Modern CPU run between 3 and 5 gigahertz, so billions of operations every second. Cores and threads. A single core CPU can only do one task at a time. A quad-core CPU can handle 4 tasks simultaneously. Modern CPU from Intel, Core Intel 5, Core Intel 7, Core Intel 9, and AMD Ryzen 5, 7, 9 have anywhere from 6 to 24 plus cores. The faster and more powerful the CPU, the faster your computer feels. Now, let's talk about memory. There are 2 main types of memory in a computer: RAM and ROM, and they serve completely different purposes. RAM, or random access memory. RAM is your computer's short-term memory. When you open a program, say Microsoft Word, it gets loaded from storage into RAM. The CPU then reads from and write to RAM to do its work. The key thing to understand about RAM is that it is volatile, meaning if you turn off the power, everything in RAM is gone. That's why you need to save your work. RAM is measured in gigabytes. 8 gigabytes is the minimum for most tasks today. 16 gigabytes is comfortable, and 32 gigabytes or more is for power users and professionals. Modern RAM types include DDR4 and the newer DDR5. RAM, or read-only memory. RAM is your computer's permanent memory. It stores the firmware, the low-level instructions that tell the computer how to start up before the operating system even loads. This includes the BIOS or UEFI, which runs the moment you press the power button. ROM is not volatile. The data stays even when the power is off. It cannot be easily changed or overwritten, which is why it's called read-only. Types include PROM, EPROM, and EEPROM. Quick summary: ROM, temporary, lose data on shutdown. So ROM, permanent, survives power off. Next, let's look at storage device. These are where your data is kept permanently, and the motherboard, which is the backbone that connect all the components together. Storage device: HDD or hard disk drive. Use spinning magnetic disk to store data. It's slow by modern standards, around 1000 to 2000 megabytes per second, but offers massive capacity at a low price. SSD or solid state drive has no moving parts. It uses flash memory chips. SSD are dramatically faster than HDD, ranging from 5000 MB for regular SATA SSD to over 700 MB for NVMe. They more expensive but make your computer feel much snappier. USB flash drive. This is portable plug and play storage, convenient for transferring files between computers. Optical disc or CD, DVD, or Blu-ray. Older technology, now mostly used for distributing software or movies. The motherboard. The motherboard is the main circuit board inside the computer. Think of it as the CD through system. Every component plugs into it and communicates through it. Key parts on the motherboard include 1. CPU socket, or where the processor sits. 2. RAM slots. 3. PCIe slots, where the GPU and other expansion cards plug in. 4. SATA and M2 connectors for storage device. 5. BIOS chips. 6. Power connectors. And last, USB and I/O port headers. Finally, let's cover a few more important components. GPU or graphic processing unit. While the CPU handles general computing, the GPU is a specialized processor designed to handle graphics and visual data. It's critical for gaming, video editing, 3D rendering, and increasingly for AI and machine learning tasks. Popular brands include NVIDIA or GeForce, and AMD or Radeon. PSU or power supply unit. This is often overlooked but absolutely essential. The PCU converts AC power from your wall socket into DC power that the computer's component can use. Different components need different voltages. Input device, hardware that send data into the computer. Examples: keyboard, mouse, microphone, webcam, touchscreen, and scanner. Output device, hardware that process data from the computer to you. Example: monitor, printer, speaker, headphones, and projector. Key takeaway for both topics: a computer is not one single thing, it is a system. Every component has a specific role. The CPU is the brain that processes everything. RAM is the short-term workspace. Storage is the long-term filing cabinet. The GPU handles visual. The motherboard is the rod that connects it all. PSU provides the power to run it all. Understanding this component is the foundation of everything you will study in computer science. Thank you and see you again. Bye bye.